everybody, this is Bob from Buckeye Sports Center. Today I'm really excited to take a look with you on the 2023 Barletta Cabrio 20Q. So this is a 20-foot boat from Barletta in the Cabrio series, which is traditionally it's been their entry-level series, which is entry-level from Barletta is kind of more like a middle or middle upper for most brands. Barletta is a premium brand. They just introduced the Aria series, which is a series below this, but this kind of gives you kind of the meat and potatoes of what Barletta is about. You know, all the cool Barletta features in a value-oriented boat, but certainly not at the bottom of the barrel as far as price point. It's definitely a premium boat, but you know, we're going to take a look at some of the features that are included on this. And one of the things that we're just not going to have time on this short video is get online and look at the standard features that come on a Barletta Cabrio. Yeah, there's so many to list, from pop-up cleats to extruded, you know, rails to an electric power bimini top, which normally would be a $2,000 upgrade on somebody else, is standard on the Barletta. So really add that up, and there's probably anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000 worth of features that are included on this boat at no charge that you might miss if you're comparing it to other brands. So you know, you'll see here as we get through the boat, you know, all the other kind of little things you'll learn with why Barletta is growing so fast and why it's become, you know, one of the top builders in the country, even though the brand's only about 5 years old. So let's take a look at this Cabrio 20Q. First thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit in this transom area, this Barletta C20Q. So one of the things that is unique and different, you know, a lot of manufacturers, this would be considered a 22-foot boat. And the reason why is we've got these two large extended platforms in the back. So the tube length of this boat is around 20 feet, but we have this extension here in the back, which really gives the boat the feel, and in the reality is it's over 22 feet in overall length. So you know, so that extra space from a standpoint of, you know, getting on and off a dock or kids jumping in the water and stuff like that, everybody who, you know, has a boat like this appreciates you know, having that extra space. If you're on a lake that has a 20-foot limit, this boat does tidle at 20 feet, so because that is the tube length of the boat, so so it is a good lake for those restricted lakes if you have a limit. So this particular boat we have set up with a 2-tube configuration. It is available in a tri-tune where you can put 150 horsepower on it. This 2-tube configuration, I think you can put up to a 115, certainly a 90 on it as well. We do have the ski tow bar as part of it. Again, everything that Barletta does is heavy-duty stainless steel. We've got a nice 4-step stainless steel boarding ladder. We see the heavy-duty stainless steel elements. Again, a lot of times on a boat like this, you're going to see like a little plastic thing that has a 3-step plastic ladder or something like that, or a chintzy ski tow bar that isn't stainless steel, isn't you know, bolted through, all that type of stuff. The other thing I like about this boat is we do have a built-in gas tank. You know, plenty. I think it's a 24-gallon tank. You can look on the specs to confirm, but it is a center fill tank, so it's a direct fill, so you can fill it from either side if you're trailering, or you have easy access to it from either side. So rather than having something plugged into the side of the boat and then kind of run through, and a lot of times you'll get kickback or anti-feedback when you do that on these pontoons. This one has a direct fill, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, really usable transom area on the Cabrio 20Q. Okay, first thing we get into the C20Q, basically the Q means quad seats. We've got 4 basically lounging seats, 2 on each side in the front, 2 on each side in the back. So that's kind of the seating configuration of this boat. First thing I always notice, and it's every time I get into one of these Barlettas, you know, sometimes I forget, is just how comfortable the furniture is. That's something that I cannot really talk about too much, or really, you can't really feel that obviously in a video, but you know, literally you come in the showroom and you sit in that Barletta and you're like, oh man, I can see the difference. And that's something that you definitely feel the minute that you sit down on this seat, is how comfortable it is, and quite frankly, how they're higher than everybody else as far as, you know, that comfort and that initial fit and finish and all that type of stuff. They're definitely, you know, the premium category. You know, we're going to see lean backs like what we're looking down there. So we got a lean back on that side, got a nice armrest on this side. So a lot of times you just have like a furniture piece ending here and there's no armrest or something, you know. But again, you know, Barletta is doing everything top notch. We do have a awesome large bimini top. Again, we talked about how that being a power top. So if you're trailering, you know, everybody knows how annoying it is to put the top down and put it down for trailering. This is all automatic. All you got to do is put the boot on and off, and you can do that when it's in the down position. Other little things I'll talk about or mention. You know, on the Cabrio series, we've got a nice vinyl wrapped base. It's not like a plastic base or anything like that. You know, we talk about safety elements. We've got this huge extrusion here. Number one, you know, almost every time where you see metal on metal contact, we see a rubber tape here, and that's something that I'm not going to be able to show you too much in this video, but when you look at the Barletta on the deck, as far as how the deck's put together, this is a good example of, there's little pieces of basically a rubberized material, so you're not going to see metal on metal contact, and it makes the boat a lot calmer feeling. It doesn't feel like it's a big tin thing going through the water. It doesn't rattle like other pontoon boats. But in the case of this piece, this is so, you know, a little kid can't open the gate inadvertently and walk out to where he's not supposed to go. All right, it's almost impossible. It takes like 600 pounds of force to get the gate to actually go through that piece, versus most brands just have a small little plastic piece down there, and that's all you have. You don't have this extra backup. So that's one example of a little premium feature you don't normally find on a boat like this. From a storage perspective, all the seats have storage underneath. I always like to point out here's one that actually shows the battery on-off switch, which is included on this boat. You know, so at the end of the day, you can turn that battery off. We have nice premium stitching all the way through. We have a water management system, so if you do get rainwater or something like that, it should not go in the compartment. It should kind of fill into the grooves around the compartment and then drain outside the boat. So they're not considered watertight, but it definitely helps in making that boat, that compartment as dry as possible. We move up to the helm, and this is an awesome, awesome helm. I mean, they actually redesigned that this year on the Cabrio series. So first off, we're going to see that this is a raised helm platform. So again, something you're going to find on premium boats is that kind of raised helm area that gives you a little bit better visibility. We also see that we kind of have Barletta has a series called the Lusso, and the Lusso is kind of like the top of the line, and this almost looks kind of like that Lusso console is so cool looking, and this is kind of like I want to say a basic version of that, but it kind of has the same idea that Lusso helm has, just in a smaller, a little bit more economical package, so that we can keep the price reasonable on this boat. But you kind of see that here with the standard GPS, premium stereo standard, but just an elegant looking dash. We do have a wireless charger over here for your phone, which is a standard feature now, which is really cool. And in a conveniently located throttle control. So overall, just a awesome helm setup, really comfortable, raised helm, really a premium feature on this boat. So we move up toward the bow of the boat. One feature I always like to point out with Barletta is this standard on the Cabrio series is table pop-up, which is really cool. It's kind of like serves as a serving area, or kind of a area. You can get additional tables put in the middle, but I kind of like this one because it's kind of off to the side. It's kind of out of the way. You're not having to kind of walk around it as you move around the boat. So that pops up really quickly and easily. And then as we move to the bow, another patented feature that Barletta has that's been on their boat since the beginning is a little doggy dish. So that's on pretty much every Barletta, which is cool. We move to the bow area. We talked about the premium seats. We've got a flip down armrest for the bow, which is nice. I also like the cup holders are movable here. So we've got this cup holder over here that we kind of sit in the corner, but if we don't want it there, we want more seating, we can actually slide it back to this spot. All right, get it out of the way of the seating, which is pretty cool. One of the guys at the factory came up with that idea, so they listened to him and said, oh, that's a good idea, so let's put it in production. So that just happened about a year ago. So, overall, you look at a 20-foot boat, and it really feels bigger than that. Honestly, I've sat in, a lot of times a 20-foot boat, what they'll do is they'll put like a 3-foot opening on the front, all right? They'll put like a 3-foot opening on the back, and then they'll actually just have about a 14-foot boat inside. Barletta does not do that. We do have a little bit of a lip on the front so you can board and exit the boat, just enough. And then we talked about the transom area, but, really you're talking about almost having a full, certainly at least 18, 19 feet of boat inside inside the cockpit area is what they call it within the rail system. So that's why it just feels a lot bigger than most 20-footers, and really why it feels more like a 22-footer. In closing, if you're looking for a great value on a premium boat, definitely check out the Barletta Cabrio series, and in particular the Cabrio C20Q. for more information to view our inventory, BuckeyeSportsCenter.com. We've got plenty of Barlettas in stock as well as other brands as well. And on our YouTube page, we've got videos from Barletta as well as a ton of other brands that we deal with. And subscribe to our YouTube page to see all that. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the water.